Welcome to Spa Talk. I'm Megan DiMartino, live from the Novita Spa on the Square, exclusively with BeFirstInMedia.com. And today, we're going to be speaking about eyelash extensions. And you probably say, what are eyelash extensions? Well, my friend and colleague in the aesthetic industry, Karla Scott, is going to share with you about eyelash extensions. Welcome, Karla.
Hi, Megan. It's so good to be here.
Well, thank you for coming to Georgetown, Texas, and the Novita Spa.
Thank you for having me.
If you would share a little bit before we go into what eyelash extensions are and the background of eyelash extensions, and then your new product, Bump Her Lashes, just give a little background to you and your background in the aesthetic and spa industry.
Well, I have been a makeup artist for about 30 years and an esthetician for 23. So I've been in the beauty industry for quite a long time.
Quite a long time.
Doing makeup since I was 5, sitting at my grandmother's vanity where I fell in love with those little lipstick samples. Remember those? Mm-hmm. I can still smell them. Mm-hmm. But I have loved beauty and anything pertaining to that transformation. Taking a woman from one state to another, simply with the application of cosmetics.
Last week we spoke about on Spa Talk about basically that with clinical excellence with a special pampering attitude. Meaning, and we talked last week on Spa Talk about the definition of spa, meaning what really it is and the evolution of skincare in our industry and the population, which is not just the aging population, but all people who, we said 8 from 108 who have skin.
Who have skin.
Okay? So most people have eyelashes.
And that's right.
So you have been a makeup artist for many years.
Many.
And so when did eyelash extensions come into your business and career?
Into my business, more than likely it's been about in the last 10 years, although eyelashes have always been around in some form, shape, fashion, whether it was the flare lashes that many are familiar with, individuals, sometimes they call them, or tabs, depending on where you're located. Certainly strip lashes have been around for forever and ever.
Right.
And lashes are something that add that extra pop of glamour and add that extra something and help to open the eyes and give more expression to the face.
Okay.
So eyelashes are a growing thing and an increasing trend is this eyelash extension phenomenon that we are in.
So you said about 10 years ago in your aesthetic, as we discussed last week, that means a licensed professional. So in your aesthetic business, you started doing eyelash extensions, is that correct?
I started doing tab lashes first, or the flares, and calling them eyelash extensions, just playing on that terminology from hair extensions.
I see.
You know, meaning that you're taking what you naturally have, adding to it, and making them longer. I didn't know there was actually such a thing that was really called eyelash extensions until somebody brought it to my attention. So of course, you know, we're in the information age. I Googled it. And I was really surprised to find that there were several companies based in your state here of Texas that actually were manufacturing and educating professionals like myself in this new art form of extending the eyelashes one hair at a time.
Wow.
Wonderful.
One hair at a time. So you therefore found that, not necessarily company, but that reality of eyelash extensions, and then sought out to find more about it for yourself.
I certainly did. Traveled, became educated, took the training class, got the kit, went back to Arkansas and began practicing this very exciting new service. Well, it added so much to my business, and my clients were ecstatic. You know, I started building the excitement before I actually had the skill set down.
Right.
You know, coming soon. You know, and so people were excited. So by the time that I felt confident in my level of expertise to actually start charging people to do it.
Interesting.
They were ready. They were ready and waiting for this new service to be launched.
Well, I touted you as the eyelash queen. How did that begin?
That's my moniker. I started off doing the service and then became an instructor and a trainer and educator for a line of products out of Colorado. And my students named me the Lash Queen, and so it stuck. And so that's my little tagline, my moniker, as you said. The Lash Queen.
But I also did some research, Karla, and you were written up in the local Little Rock paper.
Yes.
Share a little bit about that and what happened with that after you had this extensive article written about you.
It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. It's been several years ago. It absolutely changed the complexion of my business. It was supposed to be a small article in a section of the paper. It was called The Dressing Room, which was where they highlighted new salons and people from the fashion industry, that sort of thing. And so that was where it was supposed to be. What happened in the process of this coming into being and having the reporter come out and do the story was her editor somehow got wind of what a big trend this was becoming and said, we need to send a photographer with you. We need to put this in the style section. We need to run this as a larger piece. And so I had no idea that was about to happen. They came, they stayed with me for about an hour. She interviewed me while I actually did a set of lashes on a client. The photographer was all over the place, like the paparazzi, taking pictures the whole time. It was really fun. And they did this huge article. I happened to have been visiting my niece in Los Angeles when the article hit the paper. I did not know how large of an article it was going to be, and it ended up being the entire front of the style section and the whole back of the style section. And on the front page of the paper, there was a tease across the top banner with the picture and the article's title. And so I was getting phone calls in the airport while I was flying home saying, how soon are you going to be here? The phones won't stop ringing. I don't know what to do. I've got 4 pages of phone messages. It was pretty crazy. That happened on a Tuesday. By the time I reached Little Rock, there were 4 pages, literally 4 pages of phone messages, and the phone had not stopped ringing.
Now, what's interesting to me about this is that eyelash extensions are not permanent. This is something that it will be applied and then potentially are attached to your lashes for 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, they're attached to your lashes for the cycle of that lash.
Okay.
Eyelashes are hair. So like any other hair on your body, they grow in cycles, 12-week cycles. So at any given time, you have eyelashes on your eye that are at varying stages of their life cycle.
I see.
So as you apply these hairs, these extensions to those lashes, as your hair's life cycle ends, it sheds just like it would normally and then regrows. So there's a constant need for replacing those hairs that shed, or the ones that grow away from the lash line or get twisted or loose, So there's constant maintenance. So it's a wonderful addition to the industry because it builds in loyal clientele. They become addicted.
Yes.
It's an addictive thing to be gorgeous.
You heard that, folks. When I just said 2 to 3 weeks, though, it made me think back to acrylic nails and when they began, and how, and I shared this last week, that the beauty industry is basically a cycle and a building block. And when acrylic nails started to become fashionable or popular back in the 80s, it was when the woman was going into the workforce in unprecedented numbers.
That's right.
I would assume, I don't really know this, but I would assume that in the big picture, because you've been doing this a long time now, that many people, like you just said, become addicted, but it also enables them to, it's a kind of a wash and wear aspect, that it's an easy, get up and go, and you look fabulous from the moment you wake up. Share a little bit about that.
I think that that's a very good point, Megan. I think that that's a very big part of why it's so popular now. Women are busy. Our lifestyles are busy. Our children's lifestyles are busy. And so women look for things that are going to enhance their appearance and not take them more time for getting ready for their day. So this saves them time. You don't have to apply mascara. I tease and I say, you wake up cute every morning. Who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want that? So that's a very, very exciting part of the psychology of eyelash extensions. When we when we come back from break, I should say, we're going to speak a little bit about the licensing and the education of eyelash extensions. Thanks so much.